Hello everyone, I'd like to tell you about how to write introduction. My name is Asiya Akhmetova. I'm an English teacher with more than 10 years of experience. I'm an IELTS tutor and a teacher's mentor. So let's start. In general, there are three main points which we are going to discuss today, and they are hooks, funnel structure, and thesis statement. All these three things are really important when writing the introduction. Let's start with the hook. When a person starts reading, it's really important to grab their attention. And if there is a hook in introduction, it will be helpful to create interest, attract attention, and make reader want to continue. So you're able to catch the reader and reel them in. Let's see what hooks look like. So the first option of how to make this hook is to start your essay with a surprising statement. For example, some people may not realize that McDonald's hamburgers can last for many years without rotting. When a person reads it, they immediately think about the possible consequences of eating fast food, or probably their own experience, and of course it makes them want to continue reading. So the words which work like a hook are hamburgers that everybody eats, I guess, and I would say the word rotting. When we read this word, we imagine what it looks like when something is rotting, and of course it gives us some emotions, probably negative emotions, and this is what we remember from the article. The next option is to start your essay with a question. For example, what makes teenagers lie to their parents? And first of all, a reader can be a parent and they can be interested in the consequences of this kind of lie, or maybe underlying causes of these lies of their children. Maybe they have teenage children, but even if your reader is not a parent, they can be interested by this topic because of course they used to be teenagers some time ago and they did lie to their parents, and probably this will grab their attention and again make them want to continue reading. The very important word here is lie. Of course, the word lie. Something which triggers us, something which makes us think, or again, which causes some emotions and feelings. The next option is to start your essay or the article with quotation. For example, Nelson Mandela wisely pointed out that the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. I guess the words which will catch the reader's attention will be in the words like never falling, rising every time we fall. So it's something which encourages us to do something or motivate us to go further without stopping. So the next option is starting with statistics. And of course, these statistics should be a bit surprising, maybe unexpected, maybe something scary or terrible, nerve-wracking, etc. So it should reveal some emotions. And when we deal with emotions, of course, we want to read further. For example, it can look like this. Researchers have found that there are 1.22 more deaths from car accidents in rural areas than in urban ones in the USA. Of course, if you're writing the article living in Kazakhstan, these statistics can be taken from our country. But in general, this kind of information grabs the attention of the reader. So here these words will be death, car accidents, right? Because again, it's something which makes us think about, something which triggers our internal emotions and feelings. And one more. Your essay or the article can be started with an anecdote, which means some interesting story. For example, 2 years ago, John Smith was robbed at gunpoint while walking home from a movie theater. In general, everybody likes stories. And I'm sure if you put in some intrigue or some interesting facts or some strange things, it will definitely lead a reader to reading further. So here we have the word robbed at gunpoint while walking home. So these words are important because everybody can imagine themselves doing this. And of course, when something is dangerous, we feel kind of scared, and it will make us want to read further. So I guess everything's clear with the hook. Let's get to the second point that we are going to discuss. And this is the funnel. You see the picture of the funnel on the top right side of the slide, and you see that it looks like this. So you start with something global, with something general, and you narrow your ideas, making it more and more specific. So this is what your introduction should look like. You start with a general statement, and here you just catch the reader's attention. You use some hooks to do this. Then you get to more specific statements. And then our introduction is finished with the thesis statement. So let's get to the more specific statements. These are the ones which give background information. Maybe, depending on the topic, it can be describing the historical or social context. Maybe you will define some key terms. Probably you will introduce relevant theories or research, or you set up the different sides of a debate. A bit later, I'm going to give you the example and you will see what it looks like in real introduction. But now let's get to the thesis statement. So, actually, thesis statement is the most important part of your introduction, since it defines the focus of your essay. In general, thesis statement sums up your argument in 1 or 2 sentences, no more than that. Pay attention that thesis statement is not just a statement or a fact, it's a claim that requires evidence and explanation. It is something that you're going to expand in your main body. So don't get too specific, don't go too deep into the statement. You should just mention your arguments. You should just define the main points that you're going to discuss in your essay or in your article, but not to give any examples or give too profound explanation of your arguments, because this is what main bodies exist for. So let's look at the example. We start with introducing the topic, and here we use a hook, right, as you remember. And now I'm going to read you the first 2 sentences, and you should understand which type of hook I used here. So, why do teenagers lie to their parents? Research by Nancy Darling, an expert on teens and lying, shows that close to 96% of adolescents lie to their parents. So, which types of hook are used here? 2 of them, right? Of course, we have the question here and the research, some kind of statistics. Then, as you remember, we give some more specific information. As for parents, they are not always good at recognizing when their teens are lying. Moreover, when they do discover a lie, they do not have effective strategies for how to deal with the lying teenager and may respond with anger and punishment. You see that here we do not give thoroughly into the topic. We just introduce the topic. We just give more specific details. And then goes a thesis statement. So here we present our argument, and as you remember, it consists of only 1 or 2 sentences. So here it looks like this. Hence, a more successful approach, which involves establishing a baseline of honest, open parenting communication, should be used. And in the main body, I'm going to expand this idea about the approach. And I'm going to give some examples, some explanation on this topic, some results, etc. But it is enough to introduction to give only this point, to mention your argument, to name your argument. So I hope it is clear. What I can say about the introduction in general, that it is the most important part of any article or an essay, because it sets the tone of the whole writing. And this is the first impression of the reader or examiner, depending on what you're writing. So thanks for your attention. I hope it helps. I hope it was interesting. Bye bye.